are you? I hope you're doing well. So today's video is really exciting. I just finished filming this video, but my fan was on the whole time, so you couldn't hear anything. So I'm gonna try to pump myself up to do this again. But basically, this is a moving announcement. You guys, I am moving to the UK. That's right, the rumors are true. I've been dropping hints here and there on Instagram, on TikTok. I was like bluntly talking about it, but like almost nobody picked it up. We need to do something bigger than a soft launch because clearly you guys aren't picking up the clues. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. But yeah, I made an announcement on Instagram and I asked you guys to send over your questions. I'm gonna try to go over them, but if you have any more questions at the end of this video, please leave them down below and I will do my very best to answer them. Let us get started. Why? Why now? How? When? What? I love this question. It's like, it basically is gonna answer everything, so let's go ahead. Why? I'm going because of a job. I've applied to a government program almost 2 years ago. It didn't happen because of COVID, but they decided to just pick it right back up this year and they asked me, we still have a spot, do you want it? I was kind of like, this is a lifetime opportunity. I had always wanted to go on a student abroad exchange, but it wasn't possible at the time, and so I felt like this was kind of like the perfect opportunity for me to explore and to get outside of my comfort zone. Why now? So basically it was supposed to happen 2 years ago before the pandemic hit. I was supposed to do this right after graduating. I didn't know if I wanted to work just yet in the field that I had studied. I studied business administration with a major in HR, for those of you wondering, and the last job I had was not even in that field. I was working in the field of insurance. But before finding that job, the original plan, the original plot of the story was always to go to England first, then come back and find a job. And basically the reason why I want to do this experience is because it's a teaching job. However, there's a lot of things that you find in teaching that's very similar to training and developing skills and leadership, which is something that has always interested me in HR. So I wanted to do this experience to know, like, is HR something I would do? Is it worth for me to stick it out and, you know, go through hardships and go through like maybe parts of the job that everyone has to go through but aren't that fun? I wanted to know, like, is this something I want to do with my life? If yes, I'll start working in HR when I come back. If no, I'll either go back to school, do something else, or I'll work and apply in a different field. Obviously, social media is like something I really love, so working in marketing is also something that was on my mind. Basically, this teaching job is going to teach me quite a bit about what I want to do, what I value in my job for the rest that I will be doing for the rest of my life. So yes, that is the why. And then how I applied for a tier 5 visa, which is under the Youth Mobility Scheme visa. I have a sponsor, which is the school that hired me, but you don't need to have a sponsor. You just need like to fill out a few requirements. I will have the list of countries also. If you're from any of these countries, you can also apply for a tier 5 visa, which allows you to work in the United Kingdom. And then when it's going to be in September, which is a month away, and it's coming very, very soon. I still don't have my visa, which is a little scary, but if you haven't like been following, I mean, if you're not Canadian, you won't care, but the visa and the passport situation right now in Canada is absolutely horrid. What are you most excited for? As I said, the teaching job I'm really excited to do, but apart from that, obviously I'm so excited about traveling. Like, when do you get a chance to like book a $50 flight to Paris, or like not a flight but a train ride to Paris, or when do you get the chance to like just fly out to Northern Ireland or whatever it may be? So obviously traveling is something huge that I'm very excited about. Oh my god, where? I am going to be in Cambridge, which is an hour and 30 minutes away by train, I would say, from London. So I am pretty close to London. It's not like a huge city. It's very much a student city because of the University of Cambridge, but it's also a city full of young professionals. So it's like a very youthful city. I don't think it's a city actually. I think it's a town. Unsure about that. Okay, living situation. Will you be getting your own flat or will you be sharing with roommates? Going into this, I was like 100% I'm not sharing anything. I'm getting my own flat. Until I saw the prices. The rent there is insane. So basically I will be sharing a room in a 2-bedroom kind of annex. So it's not a flat, it's not a house. The most common thing is sharing rooms in a house, but I will be sharing a room in an annex, which is in the backyard of the lovely landlord that I'm gonna be staying with. What will you be doing there? I will be teaching for 9 months. I will be teaching French. I will be a language assistant, which is basically, I think it's like, I see it more as an intern for the teacher. So I will be assisting the teacher. I will be putting together some activities, some like fun things that we can do to basically help the students learn to speak French. So it's very based on speaking rather than grammar or reading, which I really love because obviously I think like that is a part that is super neglected. Like back when I was in school and I was learning English, at the end of the term, people were good in the way that they could understand when somebody was speaking, they could write really well, but they were so bad at speaking. And also like there is something about speaking that is just like you have to knock down the walls of fears that is like, you know, not being good at a language that is not your first language. That's something I love about the program that I'm going to be doing. It's very heavily focused on speaking. Will you have a roommate? Yes, I will have another roommate. She's a student and a female. Are you nervous? Yeah, I'm extremely nervous. I'm extremely nervous. When I get there, I will be alone. I'm very much alone like this whole process. Like I'm sure I'm gonna meet other language assistants at the school, which that will be something in common that I will have with them. I also have my roommate with who I hope I will get along with. I mean, I still don't know her. And I also have like internet friends. Like that's a beautiful thing about the internet is that I don't think I will be alone. Like I already have some plans of some people I've met online that I will be seeing. So that's something super exciting. But yes, I'm very nervous. What makes me like the most nervous, honestly, is that when I get here, like I have 1 week to get situated, and then after that I start working. It's going to be kind of stressful because I do have stuff to do. Like I do have to get situated. I will have to do like my first grocery run by myself, or maybe the roommate will be there and we can do that together. But like I don't know, like maybe she's not super social, maybe she doesn't want to be my friend. I really don't know. And I will also have to like open a bank account, get a SIM card. Like these are like the logistic things that are stressing me out right now. Very much, yeah. Where were you looking for a flat? Websites and so on. Let me get into it, baby. I need to breathe for this one because I will get so pumped and angry pumped. Okay, basically, at first I started looking on Facebook Marketplace. Why? Because I got my Montreal apartment through Facebook Marketplace, and it's an excellent place in Montreal to get apartments. Cambridge, not so much. Something I learned very quickly is that the Cambridge market is absolutely horrid. It's insane the way that the rooms just fly by like this. So at first I was on Facebook Marketplace to quickly realize that there's only scammers on there. Please do not look on Facebook Marketplace. I was also on a group, Facebook group, it's like Cambridge accommodations, things like that. Useless, literally useless. Like every time I would post something on there, like people would be like, check out this website. Or it was like, I do have a room for you, please DM me. And it was so weird. And it's like, you think I don't know you're a scammer? Like, please, I'm not stupid. So Facebook Marketplace was a big no. We moved on to more official websites. So what I would do is like I would type in Google flats to rent in Cambridge. I found 3 websites. The first one is Zoopla, then there was Rent Hero, and then there was On the Right Move. These 3 websites, what I quickly learned is that they go through like a third party to promote the their adverts. So it's not the actual landlord that posts his own ads. He goes through like these websites or agencies that will do it for him. However, let's say a landlord is interested in like putting up an ad. He goes through an agency, the agency posts the ad for him, and then I found the ad. I'm interested. I write, hello, my name is blah blah blah. I'm blah blah blah. I will be in Cambridge from blah blah blah. I'm interested in this room. Takes 3 days for them to respond back, and they're like, when are you available for viewing? Now I have to say I'm not available for viewing. Can we do a virtual tour? 9 times out of 10 they were just like, we can't, sorry, we're too busy, and we have other people who are actually there to get a virtual tour. So these websites were kind of a flop for me. Then somebody told me to search on Gumtree, which is like the Kijiji of the UK. Not super successful on there either, because Gumtree was just not like updated regularly, and it was also just like weird. It's giving Craigslist, like it's giving like 35-year-old male searching for female roommates to keep company, like things like that, and I was just like, absolutely not, no thank you. So then somebody told me to go on spareroom.co.uk, I think, and that was the most successful thing for me. So what I would do is I was on this website 24/7, refreshing constantly, hitting newest, very important, you have to click newest ads so you can see when the ad is posted, and you have to write right away to that person. Not only did I have to find something that was close by to the school, but also something in my budget, which was really, really hard. At first I was kind of like fine with like commuting, but then I realized that most places that you had to commute to and from were at least 35 minutes away, and I've done the whole commuting thing when I was in college, and I really hated it. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing the commuting thing. I think if I'm gonna be like in this town, I'm at least gonna be close to where I work. So that was number 1 for me. And then number 2 is my budget, but like technically budget is always number 1, because if I can't afford it, I can't afford it. On Spare Room, every time that I would see somebody post an ad, I would immediately write a lovely message presenting myself, who I am, my occupation, my age, when and where I will be in Cambridge, where I'm going to be working, and I would also say something like, I have references letters if you request them. Something like that. Spare Room was the Hunger Games, basically. If you're not one of the first people to write, you basically get ignored. I think I sent over 30 messages to people, and out of these 30 messages, only 5 people got back to me, which is terrifying because I'm leaving soon and I still don't have a room. And I was just like, what the hell am I gonna do? This is so scary. Like, literally, like I don't want to get there and like rent an Airbnb, because Airbnbs are so expensive. An Airbnb would be like 1.5 the amount of the regular rent that I would pay, so it wouldn't make sense for me to get an Airbnb and then find a flat. Like I wanted to find a room right away. Sorry, a room, not a flat. So luckily I did find a room, and how it worked is I was one of the first people to write to this woman, to the landlord. So okay, something that I also forgot to mention is like Spare Room is directly with the landlord. So you speak directly to the landlord, you don't go through an agency. Sometimes some agencies will post on there, but it's not the majority. So it's much easier and faster way of communicating with the landlord, thankfully. So I did find a room. I was one of the first people to hit up that landlord, and she told me she got over 60 messages for that room. So it was literally the Hunger Games, but I did find something, thankfully. Is it more or less expensive to find a small apartment there? So compared to like where I used to live in Montreal, rent over there is much more expensive. So if you want to like know how big my apartment was, I do have an apartment tour of my Montreal apartment, which I will have linked if you want to check it out. But I was paying $700 for the rent, and then with utilities it was like from $120 to $200 depending on like the month. And now I'm paying approximately the same price but for a single room. So yeah, a lot more expensive, a lot more. Someone said, babe, why? What do you have against Europe? Okay, and lastly, the last question is, why did you choose England? So the government program that I applied to, they have 3 choices for us to teach French over. It's either Mexico, Germany, or England. I chose England because obviously language security, like I was not feeling comfortable going to a country that I didn't speak the language, and I've always been a big fan of the UK because I was a big Zovella fan, so obviously it's always been a dream of mine to go to England, you know? And I just think also that London is a great point to be traveling to. It's a great central point, so I was thinking about that as well. So overall, England made the most sense for me. I think I went over all the questions. If you have some more, please leave them down below. I will talk to you guys very soon. Stay tuned for some Europe/UK content, and I'm super excited. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!